You guys are behind with your payments. What do you think just because you're in some gang, you don't have to give Davik his cut? Ah, so you want to play this the hard way. Okay. I knew you boys would see reason. Now get out of here.
Too bad. I was looking forward to cracking some heads.
Maybe next time, Canderous. I better get this over to Davik. I'll call you if anyone else gets behind on their payments.
Those Vulkars are dumber than a Coruscant granite slug. They actually think being in that pathetic little gang of theirs makes them important. Gadon keeps his hidden Becks in line, but Brezhik's getting dreams of grandeur. If Davik's smart, he'll slap that young punk back down. I'm someone you don't want to get on the bad side of. And I'm not one for small talk. Besides, you know the arrangement. You Sith don't interfere with Davik's business, and you all get a nice cut of his action. Sorry, but I don't usually volunteer information to anyone who just asks. I don't have time to stick around here anyway. Davik's got me working on a special assignment. Settle down, kid. We've already lost enough men to those damn rat-ghouls. The last thing we need now is more casualties from a needless firefight. By the looks of you, I'd say you're down here for the same reason we are. To salvage something from those downed Republic space pods. Let me give you some advice. Forget about it. Do yourself a favor and just head back from where you came. Mandalorians don't make threats. We make promises. But I'm just trying to give you a friendly warning. This isn't a good place to stand around chatting. The Undercity is crawling with rat-ghouls. I've already lost a half a dozen men to those monsters.
Canderous, I heard something. Over there, in the shadows. Sounded like a rat-ghoul.
Looks like we've got company. Get those blasters ready, boys.
That's Canderous Ordo. He's the most famous Mandalorian mercenary in this sector of the galaxy.
Trying to pick a fight with a Mandalorian. I can see you're not too bright. But I'm on a mission for Davik, so I don't have time for fun and games. Damn. I told Davik this salvage mission was a bad idea. His men aren't trained for this kind of thing, and I can't babysit them all. Okay, boys. We're getting out of here before I lose anyone else. I can't carry all this salvage back by myself. You'd be smart to get out of here as well. Even if you can handle the rat-ghouls, I doubt there's anything worth finding anymore. Davik sent me down here with this motley crew to scavenge whatever we could from the Republic escape pods that crashed during the recent battle overhead. But the lower city gangs got here first. Anything worthwhile in those Republic pods is probably in their hands by now. Davik won't like that. What are you, an off-worlder? Everyone knows Davik. He's a member of the Exchange. You know, the interstellar crime syndicate. Smuggling, gambling, extortion. Davik controls it all here on Taris. That's why I'm working for him. But lately, the lower city gangs have been giving my boss some trouble. This isn't really the best place to have these kinds of conversations, but I guess I could spare a couple of seconds for you. After all, you did help us out with those rat-ghouls. The lower city is overrun with gangs, but the two most important ones are the hidden Becks and the Black Vulkars. Used to be the Becks were the big dog and kept the others in line. But lately, the Black Vulkars are moving in on Beck turf and challenging them for control. The Vulkars are even starting to defy Davik. Take these escape pods, for example. Everyone knew Davik would want first crack at them. But I know for a fact those damn Vulkars have already sent their own salvage party down here. I think you're a fool to stay down here. But you did help us out in the battle with those rat-ghouls. I guess I could give you a little tip to make your life easier. Davik had us looking for 2 escape pods. According to our info, one crashed just west of here, and the other is somewhere to the northeast. You might be able to find something worthwhile inside one of them. As for me, I'm getting back to the surface before I lose my whole company. Normally, I'd make you regret those words. But I'm not wasting another minute down here. I'm responsible for this whole company, and they won't survive down here much longer. Come on, boys, let's move out! I saw you in the swoop race. Very impressive. You seem like you know how to get results. That's just the kind of person I'm looking for. My name's Canderous Ordo. I work for Davik Kang in the Exchange. The hours aren't great, but they promised me a fortune to work for them, and I have nothing better to do. Mandalorian mercs like me are in high demand. But lately, Davik hasn't been paying me what he promised. I don't like getting cheated, so I figure it's time for me to break the Sith quarantine and get off this backwater planet. I've got a plan to escape Taris, but I can't do it alone. I need someone I know can get the job done to help me. That's where you come in.
Careful. Mercs like this haven't a lick of conscience. They'll betray you in a heartbeat. This could be a trap.
You don't need to ally yourself with this person. We should move on while we can.
I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to your friend, aren't I? I saw you win that swoop race and started thinking, anyone crazy enough to race like that is probably crazy enough to break into the Sith military base. See, I put 2 and 2 together and figured out you're the person who stole those Sith departure codes for Taris. So you're exactly the person I'm looking for. I've got a plan to get inside Davik's base and steal his ship, the Ebon Hawk. If any ship is fast enough to break the Sith quarantine, it's that one. But the ship alone won't get me off this rock. Without the proper launch codes, the automated defense guns of the Sith fleet will disintegrate me as soon as I leave the atmosphere. So here's the deal. We join up together. You've got the codes, and I'll get us Davik's ship. What do you say? Do we have a deal? We can go right now. Fair enough, but don't take too long. As soon as you're ready to get inside Davik's estate, come speak to me. The sooner we get off this rock, the better. Davik's always looking to recruit new talent. I'll tell him how you won the swoop race, and mention that you're interested in working for the exchange. I'll say I brought you in so he could check you out. He'll have you stay at his estate for a couple of days while he runs some background checks on you. That's standard procedure.
This is too risky. We should find another way.
You got another plan, sister? Or are you just objecting because you didn't think of it?
No, I don't have another plan. I would rather not place my life in your hands, however.
I can say the same about you. That makes us even. Fortunately, we both want to get off this rock, right?
Well, it's not a bad plan. It might just work.
While Davik's checking you out, we steal the Ebon Hawk and escape Taris. Come on, I've got an airspeeder nearby to take us to Davik's estate. The sooner we're off Taris, the better. I need someone to steal the Sith launch codes from the base. Without those codes, any ship leaving the atmosphere will be disintegrated by the Sith fleet's automated defense guns. Here's the deal. You bring me those launch codes, and I can provide the vehicle to get us off the planet. Davik's flagship, the Ebon Hawk. Not yet. First you bring me the launch codes. Then I'll tell you the rest of my plan. Getting in won't be easy. The Sith base is protected by an encrypted security system. It would take a top-of-the-line astromech droid to slice through it. But that little T3 unit you got from Janice should be good enough to get the job done. Lucky for you, I know just the place to get a droid like that. Davik was having one custom built by Janice Nall. Look, I don't like working with strangers either, but we don't have much choice. I can provide the ship. You can get me those codes. We need each other.
I don't sense any deception from him, which is surprising. This may be exactly what we need.
Much as I hate to say it, he's probably right. We're gonna need that ship.
I'm going to wait in Javier's cantina. You come and find me when you've got those launch codes, and I'll make sure we both get off this rock. Good luck. You're going to need it. The entrance to the base is sealed up tight. Damn, you're stubborn. We both want off this planet, but neither of us can pull it off alone. Bring me the launch codes, and we'll both get what we want. Hold on just a second. Believe me, you'll want to hear this. I figured you'd be back. Neither of us is getting off this planet unless we work together. Now, I know the Sith military base had a break-in, and I know it was you. I know you've got those departure codes I need, so what do you say? We join forces, and I can get you inside Davik's base, and right to the Ebon Hawk. We can go right now. Sooner or later, you'll figure this out. Either we work together, or we both stay stuck here on Taurus. Come back and speak to me again when you've come to your senses. But we've got a small problem. I haven't heard about anyone breaking into the military base yet, so I know you don't have those departure codes. If you want me to help you, you've got to bring something to the table. So until you get those codes, we really don't have much to talk about. Glad to hear it. I'll be waiting right here. Getting in won't be easy. The Sith base is protected by an encrypted security system. It would take a top-of-the-line astromech droid to slice through it. That little T3 unit you got there might be good enough to get the job done. Maybe. I guess you won't know until you give it a shot. But a droid like that doesn't come cheap. Still, it might be your only chance. Just tell her Canderous sent you, and she'll sell you the droid. Then you can use it to get the launch codes from the Sith base. Davik paid for the droid, but I'm the guy he put in charge of the mission. He won't care how I come up with those codes. Normally I'd do this myself, but everyone knows who I work for. If I broke into the Sith base, they'd send an army down on Davik's estate to get those codes back. That's why I need you.
So, Canderous, I see you've brought someone with you. Most intriguing, if I do say so myself. You usually travel alone.
It's not like you to take on partners, Canderous. You're getting soft.
Watch yourself, Callow. You may be the newest Cathhound in the pack, but you aren't top dog yet.
Enough. I won't have my top 2 men killing each other. That's not good business. I'm sure Canderous has an explanation as to why he's not working solo anymore.
This is a special case, Davik. I ran into someone the Exchange might want to recruit. You may have heard something of their exploits already.
Ah, yes. Now I recognize your companion. The rider who won the big swoop race. Very impressive, as was your display in the rather heated battle afterwards. You know, Canderous was right. The Exchange is always looking for new talent. You could have a bright future with our organization.
Okay, we're inside. Now all we have to do is figure out a way to get past the Ebon Hawk security system, and we can get the rest of your group off this planet. No sense waiting around here, though. The sooner we get off Taurus, the better.
Welcome to the slave quarters, Master. Here we have succulent fruits and berries to tempt your palate, as well as luxurious baths to soothe your aches and pains.
Now this is my kind of place.
You can use those codes to steal the Ebon Hawk right out of its hangar. Sell it to the highest bidder, ransom it back to Davik. Whatever you do, you'll make thousands.
We've got what we came for. We should get going. Let's get this ship fired up. We'll pick up the rest of your friends, and then we'll have to get off this planet. So, Bastila, I heard a rumor that the Vulkars captured you without much of a struggle. It must be embarrassing to be bested by a handful of street thugs.
There were extenuating circumstances, and I can assure you, it took far more than a handful of Vulkars to subdue me.
Whatever you say. All I know is that if we had more Jedi like Bastila fighting against us in the Mandalorian Wars, my side might not have lost.
Bold talk from a broken-down mercenary who is serving at Davik's heel. I'd call you his pet cat-hound, but they have enough loyalty not to turn on their masters.
Insults? Maybe if your master had trained your lightsaber to be as quick as your tongue, you could have escaped those Vulkars, you spoiled little Jedi princess.
I was not spoiled. I was given the same training as everyone else in the Order. You are nothing but No, I must not do this. There is no emotion. There is peace.
That's the problem with you Jedi. Always chanting about peace and control. Never up for a good fight. Well, except for Revan, I guess.
Enough, Mandalorian. I won't rise to your bait anymore. The game is over. Let us continue on with what we were doing.
Karth, you fought in the Mandalorian Wars, didn't you? We may have faced each other in combat. What battles were you in?
I try not to think about my past battles too much. The horrors of war are something I'd rather not relive.
The horrors of war? My people know only the glory of battle. I'm disappointed in you, Karth. I thought a warrior like you would understand.
I'm not a warrior. I'm a soldier. There's a difference. Warriors attack and conquer. They prey on the weak. Soldiers defend and protect the innocent. Mostly from warriors.
Nice speech. I bet you tell yourself that every night so you can sleep. But I accept who and what I am. I don't have to justify it with words. Victory in battle is my justification.
Justification through victory. So what happens when you lose? You know, like you did against us.
You had us outnumbered 5-1. You had more ships, more troops, more supplies, and the Jedi on your side. And we still made the Republic tremble before we fell.
Nice speech. I bet you tell yourself that every night so you can sleep. Look, I don't want to talk about this anymore, Canderous. The war is over. You lost.
When I left, Quattro knew her work with me was done. There are other disciples who need training throughout the galaxy, and she could not stay to see if I passed this most difficult trial. With your help, I have passed this difficult trial. The Council now feels I am ready to continue with my training, though they have asked me to wait here for the time being.
Hey, I'm glad to see you're not getting hung up on all this. The past is in the past, you know?
First the Jedi trick you into becoming an enemy, then they welcome you back as a friend. I can't say I approve of their training methods.
Giving you a second chance like this is a clear sign of weakness. Sometimes I find it hard to believe the Jedi could defeat my people in battle.
Quattra's methods may seem strange, but I trust her wisdom. This lesson has been difficult, but I am better because of it. Humility is never easy to teach, but now I truly understand my own limitations.
I have to give you credit. You've led me on quite a chase, but nobody gets away from Calo Nord in the end.
I see you brought some backup, Calo. Realized we were a bit too much to handle on your own, huh?
You got lucky on Taris. The Sith attack saved you from a quick and gruesome death. But I promise you, the Sith won't be getting in my way this time.
They are the scum who could not stand defeat and fled the final battles. They do us no credit. Ha! Good to see things in this Jedi Enclave work just like they do out in the real world. Everyone's looking out for number one.
Revan was once a promising Padawan, but ever eager to learn more about the Force. Revan sought knowledge of ancient Sith magics, foolishly ignoring the dangerous lure of the dark side.
The Jedi Revan was a great warrior and an amazing general. Even Mandalore himself could not defeat him.
Don't worry. I'm gonna hug you and oil you and care for you and make sure you never, ever get away again. I'll be waiting for you, Master Jedi.
Please kill me.
Better get used to it, droid.
Protectors. Ha! You sit in your enclave safe from the Mandalorians while we suffer. Those Mandalorian brutes have killed my daughter.
You should have protected her better, and you call yourself her father.
And what am I supposed to do against a dozen Mandalorians and Duros? Nothing. There was nothing I could do. Mandalorians have never been open to your ways. They are much too barbaric and violent.
Practical.
Mandalorian raiders, yes. They have been preying on the settlers in the surrounding farms, stealing food, money, weapons. John was hit really hard recently. He lost his daughter.
Your republics are too weak. You should protect what you want to keep. Otherwise, someone stronger will take it.
Perhaps. But not everyone in the galaxy is a warrior like you.
Ever since the Republic beat them years ago, little groups have been roaming all over the place.
They're pathetic. They're taking scraps when they should be taking worlds.
Recently, I discovered several Sandral droids trespassing on my land. I have no idea what nefarious purpose lay behind their arrival. My own assassination, perhaps. Destruction of my property. Maybe a simple spy mission. I wasn't about to find out. My own security droids destroyed the invaders. Not a single one survived.
At least you're efficient.
Leave immediately. Only those on official family business are permitted within the estate.
And don't think I wouldn't enjoy blowing you to bits.
I am programmed not to respond to threats until attacked directly. I have been programmed to defend myself accordingly. But even if I am terminated, another will take my place. You will still be denied entrance. Master Matali is grateful for the return of Shen. He has sealed the estate and cannot see you, however. Please, move along.
So this is how nobles show their gratitude. No wonder all my friends are soldiers.
I do as I am told. Insults will get you nowhere.
That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Ichani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had.
Ichanis make delicate weapons with too little firepower. Lightweight stuff, if you ask me.
Ah, so this is the meddler. You have caused us far too much trouble for a mere Jedi. I will add your head to those of the other Jedi I have killed, and take yet another lightsaber for my own. Now you will know why the Mandalorians are feared.
Now this is what I've been waiting for.
I thought you would listen to me. I thought the Jedi were compassionate and kind. I shouldn't have spoken to you at all. I've just made everything worse.
There could be a lot of money for finding Shen Matale. I think that girl knows something about him going missing.
Those Mandalorian raiders have been milking the outlying farms dry, too. I hear John got hit really bad. Too bad about his daughter.
He should have been protecting her better if he wanted to keep her.
Don't be so heartless, Mandalorian.
Mandalorian beast. Some of us don't like fighting and killing and butchering as much as you.
I had had my suspicions for several weeks, but had no proof until 2 days ago. It seems Calder was seeing my wife. Right under my nose, no less.
Well, if you can't keep her, it's your own fault.
She may have had her reasons, Mandalorian.
I brought my family here to find peace and safety, not to be harassed and treated like common criminals. Your council has no authority here, and I respectfully ask you to leave this property at once.
This guy isn't telling us something. He might even be lying. I don't trust him.
For once, I will have to agree with the Mandalorian.
That trick would never work on a Mandalorian. Our minds are not so weak and easily twisted. I'm amazed at how many people that works on. The entire galaxy must be filled with weak-minded fools. I like the way you handled that. Are you sure you don't have some Mandalorian blood in you? Mighty generous of you. A little too generous, if you ask me. I don't think we can delay much here. We should fight our way out as quickly as possible. This looks like the end of our partnership. The battle we fight here will change the face of the galaxy. You, Revan, are the single greatest warrior of this age, and any battle we fight will bring me honor. I'll stay by your side through anything. I don't think I'm ready to give up this life of mine. This life of fighting. Not quite yet. We have things we need to do here. I'm your man until the end, whatever path you take. I've been given a challenge I can't ignore. We've got to go to the dune seas of Tatooine, so I can find Jaggi and kill him for his insult to me. This is between me and Jaggi. You don't have to get involved. If you're lucky, he might spill something before I spread him in a paste over the dunes. The sooner we get to Tatooine, the better. I think this has affected me in ways I didn't anticipate. I think I'll need time to sort things out. Thanks for what you did. Whatever your intentions might have been. I just need time. Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, I know, Taris. I wasted the last 2 years in this rat hole working for Davik. I suppose an accurate way to describe this place would be cesspool or dump. You got the rich on top, the poor being crushed underneath, and people like me trying to make a living doing the crushing. It's not exactly what you'd call spiritually fulfilling work, but it gets the bills paid. And on Taris, money can go a long way to making things easier. Do you have anything else you want to ask? From what we saw from space, this world doesn't have a lot of people. I couldn't really have found much work here anyway, so I never had an interest. It looks like a farm world. The Republic has thousands of these places. Ones that get by farming crops and hunting herds of native beasts. But I might have underestimated this place. It seems to be more than I thought. Water worlds never had much of an appeal for us to conquer. They may put up a good fight in their own environment. No match for us, of course. But they don't really have anything of value, either. The thing this world is good for is a substance known as Kolto. Kolto is the single best healing substance in the galaxy. But the Mandalore are not as weak and fragile as your Republic and Sith warriors. When we enter a battle, we carry weapons powerful enough to pulverize cities. Both in our wars and in our own personal combats, there are no survivors. So Kolto does not hold the appeal it does for your peoples. It has big trees, in case your eyes don't work anymore. But I do know that there is one exceptional race on this world. The Wookiees. The Wookiees, although primitive compared to us, are surprisingly capable warriors. They're strong and pick up combat techniques pretty quickly. I think they're more than a match for the average Republic or Sith trooper. When we were looking for targets, we considered this world carefully. We were wondering if we'd have to use larger weapons than our war droids if we wanted to clear the damn forest so we could fight in the open. Too many trees means they can go into hiding too easy. And what's a continent or two turned to glass if we get the whole world after? Tatooine is one big desert with rocks sticking out. I heard that some of my people came here after the war, but I don't know what happened to them. The world of my clan, Ordo, was much like this. Dust basins and rock crags. But my world at least has some green around the equator. This place is just sand all over. There are some vicious people on this world, but the desert is the real enemy. Trips out in the desert, especially the deep desert, should be taken very carefully. Korriban is a Sith world, that's for sure. I mean, just look at this place. When we were fighting with the Republic, with the Sith, this was one of the major staging points for the invasion. We were never allowed to land our troops on the world, though, so we never knew what the Sith really do here. Rumor has it that the leader of our clan at the time, Mandalore, did go down. They say the Sith performed terrible magics here. This world is odd. It looks like a battlefield, but the environment here is lush and green. Whatever happened here was a long time ago. I have seen many strange worlds in my time, but this world is stranger still. I don't like this place. Something happened, or is happening here, and I don't like it. We should get out of here as soon as possible. Stimulants make a warrior out of even the weakest human. Here's a speed-boosting stimulant to help you get quicker. There anything else you need? Here's a strength-boosting stimulant to help you get stronger. Here's a stamina-boosting stimulant to help you get tougher. Hey, don't worry. I think you've got enough there as it is. You don't want to overload yourself on stims. Otherwise, you might destroy your adrenal system. A real warrior knows his own limits and doesn't overestimate himself. You want to hear tales of my exploits? Of the wars I've seen and fought, the enemies I've seen die by my hand? Sure, I'll humor you. My name's Canderous, of the Mandalorian clan Ordo. I've been fighting across the galaxy for 40 of your years. For my people, it is the honor and glory of battle that rules us. It's through combat that we prove our worth, gain renown, and make our fortunes. Times have changed now. The Mandalore clans have been scattered across the Outer Rim. The Republic is in decline, and the Sith Empire rises to take its place. The clans as they were aren't a threat, but the galaxy still fears us. People think we war out of spite or bloodlust. They don't understand, and fear that. We only wanted the challenge of the battle and glory from it, win or lose. And we lost. But now I have no real challenges. Crushing Davik's enemies and the pathetic gangs in the lower city of Taris could not be considered the most glorious of tasks. When I think of the battles I've fought, the thousands I've killed, the worlds I've burned, I weep for my past. We will never again speak of this. We've got work to do, so let's get to it. The Sith came to us with an offer. To fight a worthy enemy in a battle that would be remembered forever. Win or lose, as long as the fight is worthy, then honor is gained. The glory at having triumphed over impossible odds is what drives us. If there's nothing at stake, your possessions, your life, your world, then the battle's meaningless. We Mandalore take everything we are and throw it into battle. It's the true test of yourself. The battle against death, against oblivion. All life dies eventually. A true warrior is one who can beat it down whenever it raises its head. But the days of combat and glory and cheating death at every turn seem to be over now. I take what I can. I was one of the best youth warriors in the clan Ordo in my time. No one before me had mastered the power of our basilisk war droids as quickly as I had. Except Mandalore himself, of course. In those days we were sweeping across the Outer Rim, destroying all who fought us. Young Mandalores would prove themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above 1,000 worlds. Each brought back stories of his achievements. I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I would go ahead of the first wave to find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with the basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle. Every new warrior has to fear to understand how to beat it. You must know that. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below. The exhilaration, the euphoria I felt as I streaked into the atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons, was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry. And with barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and skimmed the surface, firing at the giant beam generators that were in my path. The explosion from that sent shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life. I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did. There are too few of us left now, but I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I trust I've satisfied your curiosity for now. Is there something else you want to know? I don't remember. It doesn't matter anyway. That world's dead now. We would travel from world to world and descend on it in our basilisk war droids. I still remember my first combat. We were still recovering from the war we fought with the Sith. We were not yet strong enough to fight the Republic again. We needed to train another generation to do that. You want another war story, huh? You want to hear about some other world getting wasted, eh? I knew you were the type. Your stagnant republic has never seen some of the strange creatures and races we fought on the Outer Rim in those years. And you never will now. If a world isn't strong enough to defend itself, it's basically forfeit. But this story is about something a little different. We were going through the asteroid fields of the Crispin system at the very edge of the galaxy, playing with the pirates and smugglers we found there. The main belt in the Crispin system consists of mainly small rocks covered in frozen methane gas shells, and the pirates were using them for cover. Ha! I remember using a thermal generator to cause the outer layer of one of the asteroids to vaporize in a picosecond. It blew out and shredded the 3 smugglers using it for cover. But that was a mistake. The asteroid I had targeted was smaller than most, maybe a dozen meters on a side. On the outside, it looked the same as any other, just a ball covered in frozen gas. But something must have been inside it, something inactive in the cold. The heat of my blast might have triggered something or woken something up. After I'd hit it, spots of light and heat appeared all over the thin shell, still covering it, evaporating the gases. What lay underneath looked like some sort of rocky growth. A deformed rock, pitted by scores of micrometeorite scars. I think something even older might have been inside that. Maybe, but maybe not. It started rotating faster and faster as we watched it. After a second, it started spraying fire, thermal projectiles that melted our armor like wax. We were caught completely by surprise. Before we could counterattack, it fled at an incredible speed. We couldn't catch it, but we could follow its hyperspace wake. We followed its trail as far as we could, heading away from the galactic core. When it finally led beyond the edge of our galaxy, we abandoned our efforts. Anything that wants to commit suicide in that great void is not worth our trouble trying to catch. That's the only story I have for now. I'll tell you some more stuff later if we get the chance. I don't have as many strange stories like the last one I told you, but I do have a couple about me and the stuff I've done. In one battle above the world of Althir, my unit managed to defeat a force of Althiri 10 times our own size. That battle gained me command of an entire subsect of my clan. For 5 days they had managed to hold off our forces, keeping us to the outer rings of their world, preventing us from attacking it directly. My task was to assault one of their flanks with a false attack. The Althiri would be drawn out by the units I had sent in. Once they had surrounded those units, the bulk of my forces would attack from the rear and defeat them in detail. Things didn't go as I had planned. I saw an opening, a mistake they had made in the disposition of their forces, and took it. While fending off our main force, they had let their fleet split in 2. The center of their entire fleet was left exposed. I turned my forces and assaulted the center of their fleet, decimating them. Their slow, ponderous ship could not turn to face us without being overwhelmed. The command vessels were destroyed in seconds. Their ranks were thrown into chaos. It was amusing to watch the surviving ships scatter and flee. Several even tried to dive through the plane of the rings to escape us. They were shredded by the rings, or crashed into rocks, or were destroyed by our forces as we pursued them. Warriors do not flee from battle if they are losing. They fight to the end, as we did against you. Warriors do not flee from a battle if they are losing. They fight to the end, as we did against your Jedi Revan. Another time, maybe, I'll tell you about how the war with the Republic went. For now, let's just get on with things. This is a chance given to a warrior once or twice in a lifetime. The chance to change the course of history in a single act. They weren't stupid. Stupid races don't make starships and weapons of mass destruction. But they weren't masters of the arts of war as the Mandalorians are. Ha! I was the best. Except for Mandalore, of course. He was the only person alive except Revan who could have beaten me. I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where you beat my people. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We raised whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice. Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition. It's wrong to hide with shields surrounding you, hoping the enemy will be so good as to throw themselves at your feet to be slaughtered. I have no time or patience for cowards. They deserve to be hunted down and exterminated like vermin. There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes. Especially later. Later, when you had joined the war. We'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. They had a choice not to fight. We meet the enemy wherever they are hiding and we wipe them out. A few cities is a small price to pay for a world. We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once you had taken charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. You were a genius on the field. You are held in very high regard among my people. You abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others could be too fortified to strike. You made sacrifices in order to advance your goals. Such strategies had never been enough to best us before. In the end, you proved too much for us. There was no one else. The entire Republic had committed its forces behind you. The Sith had retreated back to their empire, and there were none else strong enough to challenge us. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. It looked like the entire galaxy was within our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The two fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars. Yeah, we lost. But there is no shame in it. We lost to the greatest single warrior the Republic has ever known. It was not your ships or your men or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance. It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Ha! Don't be naive. The Republic is not invincible. This battle was the end of the war one way or another. It was by the actions of one person, you, that the Republic prevailed. It's amazing that they could rebuild their fleet so fast. But at the time, it looked like the galaxy was in our grasp. The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I came to Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Terrace could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Either way, I think that by following you, I can get something out of it. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Yeah, I found word on Terrace. Yeah, you did. You were a great warrior, Revan. A great general. Working for Davik was like driving a spike through the side of your head. Sure, you got something new in there, but in the end, you've lost something as well. Beating up people who wouldn't or couldn't pay, strong-arming his competitors, killing who he said. It was busy work, nothing decent. Assassin, mercenary. Those are names people give guys like me who do the killing to make us seem better or worse in their eyes. I've killed many people. I can't say I'm proud of it, but I have. Criminals, competitors, businessmen, police, women, children. Jedi were a better challenge, but they hardly ever poked around in the Undercity, until you came along. But I never wanted to challenge you. Never felt the need. Maybe I knew I couldn't win, just like all those years ago. Yeah, probably. You probably would have beaten me again. Maybe you would have. But you're not who you were back then. I can tell. You've changed. And maybe I have to. I remember a time when I could do anything I wanted. Kill, maim, murder. It was all the same to me. But now that I am older, I can look back and regret. In a Mandalorian. I'm not even sure what that is anymore. The Mandalorian are gone, defeated by the Republic and swept away by time. I look back and regret all the chances I had as a warrior, and then all the chances I've had since then. I shouldn't be getting like this. Not when so many other things are happening, but it feels like something has changed inside and I don't know what it is. This is unbecoming a warrior. Let's get on with everything before I start getting sentimental or something. Ha! Good one! That's like a warrior should. Like what you'd see in a Mandalorian, maybe. I'm not happy with the way my life has turned. I'm not the Mandalore I once was. I don't even think I'm the merc I was when I joined you. I think I need something more than killing and fighting in my life. I need a purpose or something like that. The way the Mandalorians, we fought. It holds no appeal for me. To rape and ravage worlds for the thrill of battle. It gets old. Very old. Honor in battle. Cheating death. Comrades in arms. The code of the Mandalore. I think I'm something different now. Maybe more, maybe less. No, the time of the clans is past. I don't think the galaxy wants them anymore. Maybe in the future, but not now. Once my time with you is done, once you have moved on to greater things, I'll find my own way once again. Maybe the Mandalorian clans will be reborn again. Maybe even under the Republic, or the Sith. But dreaming about the future is stupid right now. We should get down to our business and finish it. If we survive all this, maybe we could talk about it then. I don't think there is really any place left in the galaxy for the Mandalorian clans like they were. I don't know if I can go on forever fighting as I have. Even warriors get insightful in their old age. Killing is never enough. Anyone can kill just by pushing a button. A warrior fights his battles himself, as you have done, and tries to defeat all comers. This thing with Joggy, I don't know. Give me some time and I'll be able to sort this out on my own. Is there something else you wanted? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right. What? You think I don't have something better to do? So deal with it. Why are you asking me about it?
So we meet again, Canderous. It has been quite a long time.
Joggy? He was a warrior under my command up to the Battle of Althir. But I thought...
You thought I was dead, didn't you? You thought all of us that you had sent on that attack had perished. You sent us to die in a foolish attack, while you directed your forces elsewhere. You broke from the battle plan and let us die for it, so that you could have the honor of being the first to kill the enemy commander.
I did what was prudent at the time. If I had not done it, the battle would have...
The battle would have been won anyway. I am tired of your excuses, Canderous. I have spent years tracking you down since the clans were banished. And I will not rest until I've had my vengeance. I challenge you, Canderous. I challenge you to fight the fight you fled that day above Althir, in the doomed seas of Tatooine. I will be waiting for you. I have spread the news of the challenge since I learned you had landed on this world. All the surviving Mandalorian clans know of what I do here, and that we shall meet on Tatooine to settle this debt of vengeance once and for all. If you fail to meet me there, you shall be stripped of all honor and forever cast out of our society. It will be you and me alone in the doomed seas of Tatooine. A final battle that can only end in death. I shall be waiting for you there, Canderous. I am not afraid of you. And if you choose, you can die by his side as well. That does not excuse what he did to us. I alone realized what was happening and managed to escape the trap before it closed. The trap he set for his own men. I have business with Canderous that does not concern you, Jedi.
This concerns my employer as well.
Employer? You've sunk that low, have you? So much for the vaunted Mandalorian honor you used to espouse. Ah, so you managed to come after all. I see you brought friends.
You brought some of your own as well.
Ha! Indeed I did. I foresaw that you might need help, so I arranged a distraction. I do not need to hear your excuses, Jedi. I know why he brought you.
Enough of this talk, Joggy. Let's do what we came here to do. This is a matter of honor. I cannot stand by this insult. I must do this. He has slandered me and questioned my honor. Among the Mandalore, many have died for lesser insults.
I speak truth, and honor is the question here. The deaths of my comrades, your warriors, is a debt in blood that can only be paid by you. When you saw prospects for glory, you abandoned the plan and left us to die surrounded by enemies. In the battle above the world of Althir, he ordered us to attack the enemy flank, promising us support. But when he saw better prospects for his own glory, he abandoned us and left us to die surrounded by enemies.
If I had not attacked when I did, the battle would not have been won so easily.
It would still have been won. You sent your own men to die there, Canderous. I cannot forgive you for what you did to us. You will pay.
That's not the way it happened. The Althiri were fighting hard. I saw a break in their defenses that left their center exposed. I had to take the chance. If I had not done what I did, many more warriors would have died and the battle would have taken much longer. I stand by my decision.
I have had enough of your prattle, Jedi. This is between Canderous and I, and we shall settle this now, once and for all. Yes, I do not want to fight.
No. Do not alter his mind to defend me. I can fight my own battles without your help.
You... what? You tried to manipulate my mind with your devious Jedi powers. I cannot tolerate any interference. You shall die for that, Jedi. You coward. You glory hunter. You were given direct orders and were part of a plan. You had a responsibility to us.
I can regret their loss, but it was necessary.
You shall all die. He cost us ours. But I do see your point. But why did you have to leave us there to die while you chased glory somewhere else?
I saw a chance and I had to take it. It ended the battle quicker than we would have otherwise, and many of our warriors may have died. Mandalore taught us that opportunism and flexibility in battle were to be admired. You may contradict me, but do you contradict him as well?
No, I see that I have been wrong. I have not been true to the teachings of Mandalore. You were right. I was wrong to question your honor, but I must now cleanse mine with my life.
And so it shall be.
At the cost of our lives? He may have saved others in the long run, but...
I saw my chance to end the battle quickly and took it. I regret the men I lost, but it was necessary.
Then you know we must end this now.
The role of the weak is to serve the will of the strong. I'm glad you understand that. What was that all about? Are you going soft on me? That's the way. Squeeze that little guy for every credit he's got. Basilisks were always much more reliable than the stuff you see in the Republic or Sith Empire. Never underestimate a Mandalorian. If I want, there won't be enough of you left to identify. Shaking people down for petty credits. Reminds me of my days working for Davik.
That Hutt's gonna suck every credit he can out of that kid and then toss him aside. Might as well have sold him to slavers.
The weak serve and the strong profit. That's the way things should be.
Translation. He says we may enter only if we have the items the chieftain asked for. He doesn't appear open to bargaining. Translation. It has had the expected effect. I hope you are ready for battle.
We Mandalorians believe in loyalty to our brothers in arms. You have allied yourself to this hunter. Betraying him now is disgraceful. Anybody else get the feeling that finding this star map in the back of this Krayt Dragon's cave is more than just a coincidence? Now that we've got what we came for, we should probably move on. Can't say I'm going to miss this pit of the world.
Please, no! Take it then. But you may as well have just killed me. You've trapped us here with nothing.
My. You should be proud of yourself outwitting her like that.
Back off, old man. I thought you were the non-involved type, remember?
Warning.
I bet you just can't understand why they wouldn't trust someone who's only in it for the money.
Money's honest, old man. More honest than a conniving Jedi.
You know, for a brute, you say the sweetest things.
I won't talk to you with that Mandalorian thug around.
We're wasting our time with this prancing Ichani.
Brave words. But only a coward hides behind layers of armor, Mandalorian. A true Ichani needs only his training and warrior spirit for protection.
Your protection didn't help much when my brothers slaughtered your warriors by the thousands during the Mandalorian Wars.
You are fortunate the Selkath neutrality laws stay my hand. Else you would pay for those comments with your tongue, Mandalorian.
See? I told you we were just wasting our time here.
The task paid well, but was boring, and beneath me. I was told to lure the Selkath youth to the Sith embassy. Nothing more. I lied, I threatened, I promised, and I brought the most promising youth of the fish people to the Sith.
So you tricked these innocents into going to the Sith base. And then what did you do with them?
And there I left them. To what purpose I neither know nor care. Perhaps when the Sith learn I have betrayed their secret, they will try to kill me. I would welcome the excitement.
Sounds like a recruiting drive to me. We used to use it on planets we had conquered. Get 'em while they're young and impressionable.
Canderous, I haven't seen you since the Republic broke our ranks at the Battle of Malachor.
Ergeron, I see you've got some new guns to add to your collection. Times must have been profitable for you since the war.
Very profitable. When the Republic defeated our fleets, I learned a valuable lesson. It's far better to be a freelance mercenary in a war than to be a soldier for the losing side.
This is why we Mandalorians don't have courts. We prefer to settle things with trial by combat. I guess you got the result you wanted, but I still think it was a big waste of time. We Mandalorians prefer to settle things with a nice, quick trial by combat.
If you want to die, then go. You won't hear me mourning for you. I'll stay here and be safe until some sort of real rescue comes.
Don't get your hopes up too high. I have no intention of dying.
I'm not spending another minute in this facility. Not with those psychotic fish people all over the place.
Psychotic fish don't try to dodge as much.
All my companions are dead. The Selkath swarmed over us. There were dozens of them. And they looked wrong somehow. Like something had changed inside them. Insane or something.
They looked wrong. This whole place smells wrong. Like an Aurelian Ergoth egg gone bad in the hamper.
Doesn't smell so bad to me, old man.
Must be those reliable and finely tuned senses of yours, mercenary.
Look here, my dear friends. We have a group of newcomers to our little colony. I don't believe I've seen any of them before, have you?
You should turn around and move along, kid. You don't want the trouble we'd give you.
That's what I thought. Well, stranger, I don't know whether you're aware of this or not, but here on Korriban, the Sith do as they please. And we are Sith. Quite literally, whether you live or die depends upon our whim. What do you think of that,
You couldn't find your backside with both hands and your friends.
What do you say? Amuse us. Make us laugh, and we might just consider allowing you to live. Go on.
I've heard this one before. I think...
Quiet! And then...
It would be more realistic if the commander just shot them both.
Those are very brave words for such an insignificant person. Do you not realize how many Sith are here in Dresde?
Not enough to save your sorry self.
What do you say, guys? Do we want a drink or not?
I say we take the creds off their bodies, then get a drink.
Hey, good plan.
Bring it on!
Looks like we got us a winner.
You know it. Let's enjoy this.
I know I will.
Those are very brave words for such an insignificant person. Do you not realize how many Sith are here in Dresde?
12. No, wait, 13.
Nice one, old man.
Thank you. It takes effort to be properly irreverent at my age.
Ah, I trust you will be responsible for ensuring your slaves are not disruptive, then.
Suddenly I'm a convincing slave, am I? Maybe you should have left me on the ship.
I always think we should leave you on the ship, old man.
Don't get smart-mouthed with me, young man. You're not too old to put over my knee.
Oh, it's a test, all right. It's a test to see if they're actually fool enough to die. If they don't, however, I certainly wouldn't admit them just for that accomplishment.
Why not just shoot them where they stand? It would at least be more direct.
That's what I would do.
Of course that's what you would do. Now, where are you going with this, I wonder?
Shut up, old man. And don't spoil anything, or I'll twist that scrawny neck of yours.
It was just an idle question. Don't get so testy, damn it.
Maybe you should start talking, or I might decide to get a little restless.
What are you trying to get away with here? You can't just walk up and start demanding things.
And who are you to stop us, little man? At least he's going to die like a warrior. Yeah, let's keep focus on what's important. If there's a profit to be made here, we don't want to miss out. Getting Wookiees angry is not a smart thing to do. Let's go kill something and get the Wookiee out. Don't push him too much, or we'll have a berserk Wookiee on our hands.
All right, I'm done talking with you. You've got under my skin one too many times. I'll bury you down here.
Just you try it.
You have interrupted our hunt, interloper. The inhabitants of this world could do little against us, but you appear to be a threat.
More than a threat enough for you.
Another Mandalore, is it? Will you draw arms against those you should serve? We'll see who lives this day.
They would reinforce, and the war would go on. You save thousands at the expense of victory. You do not match the pattern in memory. Subject has failed to demonstrate the required behavior.
You blew that one, didn't you? Basic military strategy requires sacrifice. I thought you'd know that. They were Mandalorian. Poachers, probably. They used stealth units to stalk their prey. Their kind were among the first to flee when the war turned against my people. Bloody cowards. What good is a star map buried at the bottom of the damn Shadowlands? Nobody'd ever find it here, so what's the point? I suppose if the star map is as old as everyone seems to think, it could have been here before all these damn trees. It's just hard to imagine. But I don't want to stand around here chatting about this. Too many spots for an ambush. We got what we came for. Let's just head back to the treetops. Maybe we should have brought the Wookiee out. This place looks untamed.
Are you afraid of the wild, Mandalore? Are you a coward?
Mandalorians are not cowards. We're just practical.
Well, if we're gonna pick someone to save our skins, we better do it quick. In another minute, we're gonna have Sith troops marching up our loading ramp.
You could give me a shot to delay my healing mods from kicking in. A small incendiary grenade will leave burn marks that look like I was injured while making repairs to the ship. Make my wounds bad enough, and the Sith will drag me off to the morgue or the medical facility to die. When my healing mods kick in, I'll come back and save the rest of you. I'm the best chance we've got, and everyone knows it. But you're the boss, so I'll bow to your authority. I still think it's best, unless you've come up with another plan. I'll go into the Ebon Hawk's armory and give myself that shot right now. The plating on the doors back there will keep the rest of you safe from the grenade explosion.
We found an injured Mandalorian in the back. Looks like he was trying to rig the ship's engines to break free of our tractor beam when something exploded. Admiral Careth wants us to question all the prisoners. Did you get any information from him? He's unconscious right now. I don't think he's going to make it. He's burned pretty bad. Dump the Mandalorian in the medical bay. Let them take the blame if he dies before the Admiral has a chance to interrogate him.
The three of us will get our equipment and make our way to the bridge. The rest of you head down to the docking hangar where they've got the Ebon Hawk. You'll have to find a way to deal with the guards.
Don't you worry about that. I know how to deal with the guards. They won't know what hit them.
This is Canderous. We're at the Ebon Hawk. Like we figured, it's under heavy guard. But don't worry. We'll figure out a plan to take care of them. It's Canderous. We took care of the guards. We're inside the Ebon Hawk and all systems are go. As soon as you guys join us, we can get out of here.
You defeated the Mandalore clans in the war, Revan. You were the only one in the galaxy who could best us. We had never met one like you before, and never since. How can you even ask if I'll follow you? Whatever you're fighting, it will be worthy of my skill. I'm your man until the end, Revan, no matter how this plays out. Remember, we're talking about the Force here. At this point, Malak himself could drop out of the sky and I wouldn't bat an eyelash.
During our rather rapid descent, I noticed the hulls of many crashed ships scattered across the landscape. Perhaps the parts you need can be found among the wreckage.
The Cathar's right. This planet's a technological graveyard. I saw dozens of downed ships out there. That disruptor field must have wiped them all out. But where could it be coming from? Hold on a second. You understood these goggle-eyed freaks? You must have come to this planet and learned the language back before the Jedi messed up your mind. Back when you were still Revan. You're Revan, and I'll follow you anywhere. It doesn't matter who you're fighting against. I'll be at your side. Mandalorians don't have any great love for the Republic anyway. Light side, dark side, it doesn't make any difference to me, Revan. I'll stick by you no matter what comes.